Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I'm an aesthetic nurse who likes to make life content and nursing videos. It has been a hot minute since my last nursing video, but I am back with another one to talk about aesthetic nursing. A lot of you guys were interested in my last video on how I became an aesthetic nurse. You can check that video right up here. So today I'm going to be diving deep into the pros and cons of aesthetic nursing. So this is going to be my own personal experience. Not everyone is going to have the exact same experience that I did, but I'm going to go into detail on what I faced during my first year of aesthetic nursing. As of August of this year, it has been exactly 1 full year of doing aesthetic nursing and 2 full years of doing plastic surgery nursing in general. So I have a little bit of experience now. I'm super excited to share my experience with you guys, so hopefully that can help you kind of determine if this is the right route for you. If you haven't already, I would super duper appreciate if you liked and subscribe down below to my channel for more nursing/life content videos. I am super happy to make any videos that might help others. And as always, you can leave a comment down below asking any questions for me. I have a long list of all the pros and cons, so without further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright, so aesthetic nursing. If you're new to this channel or you don't know what aesthetic nursing is, so an aesthetic nurse is someone that performs cosmetic treatments such as injectables. You want to think of Botox fillers, lasers such as laser hair removal, and skincare treatments such as CO2 lasers, microneedling, etc. So they typically perform all these treatments at a med spa, plastic surgery office, or a dermatology office. So the number one pro about this job is I freaking love it, and it is so fun. Honestly, what nursing job makes people feel super confident and happy when they leave? You also get to create awesome work and just channel your inner artist self. Every person does have their own artistic flair, so literally every single injector that you go to may have a different style, and that's the beauty of injecting. It's just like going to a hairstylist, a nail artist. Every person has their own style. Before aesthetic nursing, I was actually a lash technician, so I like to do lash extensions and just creating my own work through that channel. Aesthetic nursing was just the path for me because it was the best of both worlds, and I was able to combine my nursing skills and my creative cosmetic skills into one. Generally, your patients are happy, healthy, and they want to be there to receive these aesthetic treatments. So that makes it a really great environment to be in, which is why I think it is a very fun area of nursing. It's also really fun to see what celebrities do on their faces, because now that I'm an aesthetic nurse, I can totally see like everything that's on social media. I honestly feel like 40 to 50% of people on social media have some sort of cosmetic treatment such as Botox or fillers, because it's just so wide ranged now and it's not as taboo as it used to be anymore. Pro number 2 is that my schedule is super flexible. So I still am full-time, so I work 40 hours a week. However, I can pretty much make my schedule into anything I want as long as I reach the 40 hours a week. So I like to work 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts, because that just works for me. I also like to work later hours, so I come in later and I leave later, only because I do work in the city and I live kind of in a suburban area. It does take me about 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour with traffic, so I try to avoid the traffic by creating a schedule that is best for my needs. Not everywhere that you work will be exactly like that. I am very fortunate to work at a very great place that allows for flexible scheduling as long as I meet the 40 hours a week to maintain my full-time status. Pro number 3 is the pay. So pay can range very differently across different offices and even different cities. Honestly, for me, I made way much more money than I did at the hospital when I was working there for the entire 2 years. I actually made a 40 to 50% jump from my hospital pay, which is absolutely insane. I'm very comfortable where I'm at. Like I mentioned before, I do work in a very busy metropolitan area in the city, so that city pay may be a little bit different than a suburban area or a more rural area, as well as pay structure. So pay structure can be different as well. Some places may be 100% commission only. Some places will only pay you hourly or salary. If you are a new injector, the pay starting out may not be the best depending on where you start at. If you are hourly, it may be less than what you're making at the hospital. So that's where you do have to consider, is this your dream path? Is this something that you really want to work on? Because later on, you can definitely find opportunities to get you way more pay. But yeah, starting out, I did do part-time hospital, part-time aesthetic nursing because I wanted to make sure I had a stable income. You may have to start doing aesthetic nursing part-time just so you can get your feet started a little bit. And then once you get a little bit more established, you can transition full-time. Pro number 4 is the free treatments. Now that is definitely a perk of my job. I get basically free Botox, fillers, skincare treatments. I definitely get a nice discount on different skincare treatments and skincare products. So I fully converted my entire skincare line into medical grade skincare because of all the great discounts I get on those products. Another great thing about aesthetic nursing is that you get to go to a lot of fun events where you get to network, talk to other injectors in the area, and also you get freebies at those events as well. Pro number 5 is that I can work pretty independently. So I do work in an office with 4 plastic surgeons. I'm able to see my patients independently. I can schedule my own patients, the patients schedule with me. I don't need to have a doctor looming over me. I don't have a charge nurse judging my every move. Now I do have coworkers. I have other aesthetic nurses that I work with, medical assistants, front desk concierge. They are all absolutely amazing. But when it comes to my own personal treatments, I am performing those by myself, which is absolutely a pro for me because when I was working at the hospital, I was bullied. Like, I'm telling you guys, if you guys watch the pros and cons of hospital OR nursing, you know that bullying is quite insane in the OR, and that was one of the things that made me absolutely hate my job and wanted me to switch. Just seeing my own patients independently has just been a huge game changer. I'm able to build much more meaningful relationships. I'm able to fully, connect with them, build rapport, and just really become their friend. So there are so many other pros of aesthetic nursing, but I'm gonna stop there because I'm gonna go head into the cons of aesthetic nursing so that this video is not too long. All right, so now with the cons, which are honestly not too bad once I go through them, but with every job you have, there will always be ups and downs. And these downs are not even that crazy for me. So the first con of aesthetic nursing is that you can never be too comfortable. So while aesthetic nursing can appear very fun, very exciting, and just overall stress-free, that is not always the case. There are so many different risks, complications, mistakes that can happen if you're not too careful. So you can never be too comfortable. I am constantly learning. I am constantly studying. I subscribe to a bunch of different Patreons so that, I can learn from these aesthetic injectors that have been in the industry for so many years because I just want to really perfect my craft. Honestly, I will never be 100% comfortable with my skills because there's always something to learn and always something to work on. There are different injection techniques, anatomy that you have to learn. That is a huge thing. I mean, honestly, look at this freaking photo that we have to learn about. There are just so many things that we weren't taught in nursing school that you really have to brush up on and learn. Because I will say flat out that aesthetic nursing is hard. You do have to be very passionate about it and be able to continue to learn and bring that passion forward. You're having to learn different injection techniques, anatomy, facial muscles, complications, how to treat those complications, and don't even get me started with consultation. Consultation was one of the things that definitely took me a while to get the hang of. Your consultation is probably one of the most important steps in treating your patients because you want to manage their expectations, let them know the outcome, let them know what to expect, and just really go through the whole spiel of pre-treatment, post-treatment, all this and that. It is quite a lot to learn at first, but I promise you, you will get into the swing of things. Like I said, passion goes a very long way. You have to truly love what you do so that you can really show that to your patients. Con number 2 that I did talk a little bit about earlier was that your books may be slow at first. So for me, I did do aesthetic nursing part-time just to get my feet started a little bit. Some of you may think, oh, once I get into aesthetic nursing, I'm gonna get into doing lip filler, doing Botox, this and that. Well, yes, you are going to get into it, but building your books will take some time. The better you get at your crafts, the better you are at doing your consultations. Most patients will start trusting you and want to come back. But with time, dedication, perfecting your craft, you will be able to build your books in no time. That leads me to con number 3, is that social media is going to be your second job. Honestly, if you think about the whole beauty industry, nails, hair, lashes, etc., they all have Instagram showcasing their work, their before and afters, and educational posts. You will have to do the same as an injector. Aesthetic nursing is definitely on the rise. A lot of people are becoming aesthetic nurses. A lot of people are showcasing their work on Instagram. I think it is a vital part of our industry, which can definitely be fun. Making TikToks, doing reels, making videos like this is definitely fun for me as well, but sometimes it can be definitely taxing. Social media and making content is literally another job. It also allows my patient to see the previous work that I've done and be a lot more comfortable with who they're going to for their injections. Con number 4. So while most of our patients are happy, healthy, and want to be there will also be those unhappy patients who will never be satisfied with whatever you do. Sometimes my job can be very emotionally and mentally taxing on me. I've had my bad weeks, I've had my good weeks, but there are definitely some patients that can be difficult. You have to deal with that in the most professional way because they are paying for a lot, but just know that you can also turn away those people, and that's the beauty of aesthetic nursing. These are all elective treatments, so you don't have to treat them. But you will get, the occasional patients that are just never happy. They like to give you a hard time. They like to question you. They like to question your credentials, all of that. You have to stand your ground, tell them the expectations, and if you can't meet those expectations, just be real and just turn them away. I have definitely had to turn away a few patients because their aesthetic goals did not align with my aesthetic goals, and I did not want to work on something that I was not comfortable with, work on something that I obviously thought was not within my aesthetic goals. Do I want to tell them no and make them disappointed? No, but it is part of the job, and that is where it can be sometimes very mentally and emotionally draining because those patients can be very unhappy. You kind of just have to be a therapist and a good educator to them and let them know the risks, the consequences, and why I chose not to treat them. Another reason why aesthetic nursing can be emotionally draining sometimes is because you will get those waves of high anxiety of, did I treat that patient right? Did that look okay? Did I run into any complications? Honestly, I'm always on call on my phone because I give my patients my personal number so that if anything happens, they can reach me and I can, take care of their needs right away. And that's just part of the job. You have to make sure your patients are happy, they're okay. Like I said, aesthetic nursing has a lot of complications and you need to be on call for these complications no matter what. I've definitely had some sleepless nights towards the beginning of my career where I'm just up thinking if something went wrong or if my patient is okay, etc. So I'm not saying that aesthetic nursing is harder than any other type of nursing career. No way am I saying that. Aesthetic nursing comes with its own difficulties, so you have to consider all these things as well before becoming an aesthetic nurse. So the last con on my list is that there is a lot of pressure, at least for me, to look pretty or look the part. So for me, some days I just want to roll out of bed, put on my scrubs, and go to work. But no, I do feel some sort of pressure to look pretty, to, obviously have no wrinkles, to look perfect all the time. And I know that's not the case for some people, but honestly for me, there is some sort of pressure to look the part. I also do face a lot of imposter syndrome. If you don't know what imposter syndrome is, basically it's really doubting my skills, doubting my talent. Like I said, aesthetic nursing is on the rise, and I do find myself comparing my work to a lot of people, which I know I shouldn't do, but it's very hard for me not to. I try to get out of that rut, of course, but there are some days where it just feels like that. I can't help it, but I just try to be better, try to learn more, and just be confident in myself because that's the only thing that I can do. So if you're an aspiring aesthetic nurse or a new injector, Don't give up. If this is truly what you want to do, it is 100% worth it. Hi guys, I totally apologize. My camera completely shut off because it died. But basically those were the pros and cons of aesthetic nursing in my personal experience. I hope you guys gained a little bit of insight, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.